Hi, welcome one and all to my channel. And what we have here is sort of in the middle of the install. What we've got is an SGO4 by Weil Mclain, replacing the other boiler that you may have seen in an earlier video. We've got it up on blocks, covering up pretty much dirt. I had to do a little bit of digging around to get it to be reasonably level and secure. It arrived safely, more or less. The install guy had to work pretty hard to get it down the stairs. Barely was able to get it down the stairs safely with his equipment. But there's no door, so we're kind of waiting on that. But we were able to get the majority of the piping done. So the first thing is the outlet on the Weil Mclains in this size range is a 2.5 inch, and they just simply plug the rear one. Some people will use both outlets no matter what, and don't particularly appreciate that that one arrives plugged. They used to, not even give you, not even tapped, I should say. There's the heat exchanger. This is a semi-knockdown in that the block is assembled, but you pretty much have to put everything on yourself. Now there is the target wall there. And these are the various tappings. That's your top sight glass and bottom sight glass. There's the skim tapping. That's the low water cutoff tapping, and I believe this is for your pressure control, or this may be for your pressure control, I'm not sure. This is plugged, and that is plugged. There's your front drain there, and then that's usually plugged. We usually put a cap and so forth there. So we've got an 18-inch nipple coming up, and if this is the water line here, then the first, which is right about here, thank you for the first turn of the 90 is at 24 inches is what they want. So we've kept the 2.5 inch. So we've got a 90, another 90 here for our swing joint. We've got a union, and it is pitching down pretty radically. And if you may have remember from our other video, there were two 2-inch cast iron tees here. We cracked those off, and Frank was able to reuse most of this as a bit of somebody else's solution, but we tied onto it here, replacing it with 2.5 by 2-inch tees, and that's our mock-up for the return going down there. So we got a 2.5 by 290 going down, and then I'm going to transition to 1.5 for the largely the return. Again, this is one of their weaknesses. They've got this thankless coil plate on here, which is, at least they've got brass nuts and looks like stainless studs on there, so that at least will be maintained. So there's the wet return in 1.25 inch copper. This was full of sludge. It was a horror show. When I drained it out, I was covered. So this will be tied on to the Hartford loop somewhere in here. We're going to go out with our flue here. We do have the option of coming out on the top. Generally, if we come out on the rear, it's quieter. And then we're going to 90 up here into this. Again, this is has to be relined, but for now we got it. Frank did a heck of a job clearing it out. There was an old barometric stuck in the side. This was oil. This, of course, was coal-fired, and then it went to oil. There's the old oil line there, emerging from its burying place. One of the things we discovered when we were cleaning this out, of course, we had a lemonade can and more macabre, a rat-tined skull. The rat probably fell down into the chimney and wasn't able to escape. So the delivery fellow, an excellent fellow, was not, really didn't feel comfortable taking the old boiler out as is. So he had said he was going to be coming back probably tomorrow or the next day. Of course, he's going to have to deliver the burner door. So we broke apart the old boiler in order to go up these stairs. And he's got there's no question these are not the best stairs to come down. The tread to riser ratio is very unfavorable. This is basically a concrete brick ladder. But it's better than some access basins that we've seen before. This is a hollow area there. Help to distribute the weight over this concrete here. So let's see. Let's see if I can pick up the pipe. Yes, here it is. So this is the rear steam main here, and Frank was able to put a Gorton #1 right there. Of course, the pipe should be insulated. We've never seen the system operate. It was dead when we got here. So this is, again, this is parallel flow in that the steam, the water, and the air are flowing in this direction. There's the bubble there. And with parallel flow, you generally have to have a wet return at some point, almost all systems. And so the front main here also is pitching towards the front, and this is the boiler jacket there in pieces. A lot of times the boiler jacket, if you get a Mclain SGO or WGO, I don't think WGOs are shipped semi-knockdown, but if an SGO is shipped semi-knockdown, inspect the package with the sheet metal jacket, because you need this. There's been several occasions where this has been pilfered out of there, and if you don't have these screws, it just makes these are special screws, some of them, to get the jacket installed. So check that, make sure that shows up. This is some more gingerbread here. This is the box containing the flue collector here, and the rope. I'm going to be installing that later. This is the Carlin Easy Gas burner. Be getting to that later. There's your gas valve, and that's looking good. This is the cardboard that the jacket came in. And Frank took that old Hoffman 75 out and put this Gorton #2 in here with a brass bushing, because this is all copper. So eventually the parts are going to be arriving. We're going to, I think we discussed solder here, put a coupling, put a 90 here, and then a reducer, a 2 by 1.25" copper reducer. And then we're going to go down into this, the 1.25" copper wet return, which is going back to the boiler. So I think I've covered everything up until now. Have any questions or comments? I really appreciate them. And hopefully this will be looking a little bit better by tomorrow. Hopefully the door will be here tomorrow, because I really can't start putting the jacket on, because the hinge parts there hold the front of the jacket on, and the front of the jacket basically holds the rest of the system together. So there we go. Thank you very much, and be well.